Welcome to Hall H. Actually, one of the apes, and I think you guys are all about to be treated to exactly that. And here to talk much more specifically about it is the director of that film, Mr. Rupert Wyatt. Hall H, Rupert, Hall H.
Hello.
There have been rumors of an Apes prequel for a long time. What brought you to this project, and why now?
Well, it's never been possible, I think, to tell this story technologically. I mean, certainly when you look at that, you're seeing something slightly different where no humans were hurt in the making of that thing. But basically, we wanted to tell our story without using live apes, and for any number of reasons, but certainly I think it would be a bit of a cruel irony to tell the story of the exploited and the oppressed and use live apes to do so. So we quickly put that to bed, and we then thought about the idea, or explored the idea of using performance capture, but that had never been done before. The idea of not just capturing one character, but up to 150 apes, and doing so in such a photorealistic way. We sort of looked to any number of films to reference to see if that had been done, and creating a kind of a simian, sentient, computer-generated character as one's protagonist. This is quite a first, and so it was a big risk, and obviously it's a very expensive risk. And so when we met with Weta, we decided to take that leap together, and I think now, 12 months after shooting the film, I've breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Speaking of Weta, obviously they'd done work with a certain gentleman who might have played a simian character before. Can you talk a little bit about the star of this movie, who is in many ways Caesar, but portrayed by actually a human actor?
Yeah, I mean, Andy Serkis, I think, he's a phenomenal actor, first and foremost. I mean, I think people forget that. They always say, oh, he's leading the forefront of performance capture technology as a performer. But the reason he does that is he's just a phenomenal actor. And by that, I mean, you know, when you're dealing with you're jumping around in a grey leotard and you've got your face capture camera on your head and you're trying to play and personify being a certain character, it's quite hard to push all the technology to one side. And it's the mark of a true actor that you're able to do that. And I think Andy's somebody, you know, he's one of the first, and I'm sure there will be many more, but he's one of the first to really embrace performance capture technology as a filmmaker and as an actor. And I think we have some of his work,
yes,
an example of his work, which we can show you now.
I believe we do. Mentioned, we have with us Mr. Andy Serkis.
I hope you're all having a virtually and physically fantastic time.
Speaking of physically fantastic time, obviously your acting is amazingly physical. And for those of you who don't know, Andy played Gollum, probably one of the most amazing not actual characters in a movie, and brought great depth and humanity to it, and then did it again with Kong. How is Caesar different, and what were the new challenges that this role actually set forward for you?
You know, it's interesting whenever I choose a role, you know, it's obviously it starts with a script, and people said to me, why are you choosing another ape character again? You know, how come you're playing another monkey? You know, and it's like I had to go to great lengths to explain to them that when you read a script, to play this character, which if I just chart for you, you know, Caesar, if I just chart the journey of this character, he is a young, innocent soul who's brought into this world, who has inherited this drug, this superintelligence drug. He's brought up by human beings, nurtured, loved, cared for, And then at a certain point he realizes he is not the same as the human beings that he's been brought up by. He feels like a freak. He feels he's treated like a kind of Frankenstein's monster. He's then taken away from the people, his parents, his family, and thrown into a sanctuary which is full of apes, and it's kind of like a hardcore prison. And then he brings this disparate group of apes together and then leads them to revolution. And then, and by the way, he's an ape. You know, it's an amazing journey. So the fact of the matter is, you can't put performance capture. Let's be clear about this. Is not a genre. It's not. You don't make performance capture movies. Performance capture is a tool, and it's a tool that enables actors to transport and transform themselves into anything. There's no limitation. The only limitation is in the imagination. I think, you know, if I talk about Gollum, I mean, Gollum was an extraordinarily kind of psychologically challenging and physically challenging character. With Kong, you know, he was a huge technical challenge because he was a 25-foot gorilla. You know, Gollum's a 3.5-foot ring junkie. It's like with Caesar, I actually believe that it was it was even more of a formidable challenge. It was a huge thing because he is the emotional kind of the relationship between he and Will Rodman, who's played amazingly by James Franco, the research scientist. Yeah, James Franco. He plays the research scientist who's working on a cure for Alzheimer's, and the relationship that we had to have on screen. You know, it requires a lot from an actor to you know, on a live action set to work with an actor in a performance capture suit, but you forget about it immediately because performance capture is really only another way of recording an actor's performance. As I say, it's a tool, and it's what we're able to do now, and what was pioneered for Rise of the Planet of the Apes was to shoot on a live action set. So there was really no difference between the live action actors, if you like, and the actors playing the apes.
I think it's really cool that you talk about this period of the film where Caesar is actually sort of a fish out of water living in the suburbs, and I believe that we have brought a full sequence from the movie to show you, just to sort of broaden our horizons a little bit. I mean, at this point, Caesar is taken away from this sort of domestic existence that he's living and goes into a form of captivity.
He's taken to an ape's sanctuary, which, you know, actually the idea was, in the creation of the setting of this sanctuary, was that it was during the 70s, it was a progressive, you know, a move away from traditional zoos. It was like it's supposed to be a peaceful place where, you know, apes who had been lab chimps and so on, or ex-entertainment industry orangutans or whatever, you know, could end up going and having a peaceful existence. But what it's been taken over by its present owner, is very kind of heartless and taunts them and gives them a hard time. And so Caesar's thrown into this this group of disparate apes who can't communicate with each other, and the whole existence is, like I said, is like a prison ruled by fear, particularly by one alpha called Rocket, played by Terry Notary, who was our movement coach as well. He was a brilliant movement coach and taught us. He's worked on many films, Avatar, and he worked on Tintin, and he taught everybody how to do chimp and or, you know, specific species movement.
And so obviously the next chapter of this movie takes on a slightly darker tone.
Yeah.
Based on everything that you just said. I think we're rooting for the apes here, right? We're rooting against the humans.
I mean, this next section you'll see is basically the beginning of the revolution. It's them beginning to find a common language and finally find a way to freedom.
So you're kind of like the Che Guevara of the apes.
Absolutely.
All right, let's watch the next clip.
If you could tell us anything about Freezing Time, your movie coming out this year.
Well, Freezing Time is a movie that has been worked on by screenwriter Keith Stern, who's here this evening actually, and myself over a number of years, and it is about Edward Muybridge, who is the pioneering photographer who invented 24 frames a second and his incredible life. It's in very early stages of pre-production at the moment and development, but we're looking to produce it fairly soon. It really is a remarkable story, extraordinary journey, and an extraordinarily a very interesting character.
Cool. Yes, sir.
Hey Andy, quick question. can you tell us anything about The Hobbit?
What do you want to know?
So, is it challenging or when it...
Oh, no, it's easy. No, okay, what I can tell you, what can I tell you? Because, of course, one doesn't want to spoil anything for 2012 and 2013, but in a nutshell, we've shot for 60 days, and we've got another 200 to go. I don't know if has anybody been watching Peter Jackson's blogs on his Facebook page? Well, if you haven't, do watch them because they're really amazing. Actually, they're amazing kind of archives of where we're up to. And basically, I've shot all of the Gollum scenes so far that are in the movie, and now I'm directing the second unit. So for me, it's a huge challenge. The next 200 days of shooting is yeah, it's an amazing job. So I'm thrilled to be doing that.
Very cool. Yes, sir.
Hi, Andy. I just wanted to know, like, how you became interested in motion capture performance and why you decided to pursue it as much as you do.
I didn't really seek it out as a technology or as a form or as a genre of acting. Basically, it kind of came to me. It was the way that we pioneered during the creation of the character of Gollum. And what I loved about it, and I'll never ever forget, was the first day I did put on a suit and saw in real time myself lifting up my arm, and in real time seeing Gollum lift his arm up like this, and it was an extraordinary kind of epiphany, really. I just thought, this is an amazing way to work, to be able to inhabit the soul of this character that I couldn't physically ever achieve, because, you know, he's 3.5 foot tall and very, very skinny, but to be able to puppeteer that, to get inside the mind and soul of that character. And then I realized, well, you know, when Peter asked me to play Kong, if that can be achieved, then playing a 25-foot gorilla can be achieved. It's just, there are no limitations to what it offers an actor. And I think the only limitations are really, as I say, within the imagination and the fear of that actors, I think the acting community still has towards it, which is a certain fear of themselves not appearing on screen. Now, that's never bothered me, because I absolutely love transformation, and what appeals to me most about acting is the art of transformation. So for me, really, it represents one of the greatest mediums available today.
I'm so sorry, but time is running short, and supposedly you brought one more.
Yeah, listen, we just thought this has never been seen before. This is just as a great lead up to the movie.